Gentrification is a word that often evokes images of trendy cafes, renovated townhouses, and hipster-filled streets. But for residents in Regent Park, a neighborhood in downtown Toronto, gentrification has had a much more profound impact. Once a hub for working-class and immigrant communities, Regent Park has undergone significant changes in recent years, with new high-rise condo developments, park redesign, and community facilities transforming the area. But what has been the cost of this transformation for residents who have called Regent Park home for generations? In this video, we'll explore the history of Regent Park, the impact of gentrification on its residents, and the response of the community to these changes. So join us as we delve into some of the issues surrounding gentrification and what it means for the future of this neighborhood. Gentrification is a process of urban renewal and redevelopment, where a historically working-class or low-income neighborhood undergoes physical and economic transformations, often resulting in the displacement of long-term residents and the influx of new, wealthier residents. This process is typically driven by private developers, city planning policies, and market forces. While gentrification can bring positive changes such as increased investment into the neighborhood, improved public amenities, and new job opportunities, it can also lead to displacement of long-term residents, cultural loss, and community disruption. The impact of gentrification is a complex issue that has become a topic of increasing concern and debate in cities all around the world. Regent Park is a vibrant and diverse community located in the heart of downtown Toronto. Once known as one of the most impoverished neighborhoods in Canada, Regent Park has undergone significant changes over the years, including an ongoing process of gentrification. Despite these changes, the neighborhood remains a close-knit community with a rich history and culture. Regent Park is home to a diverse population, including newcomers, families, and seniors, with a mix of social housing and market-rate housing. The neighborhood is also known for its public art installations, community gardens, and cultural festivals, which reflect the area's diverse heritage. While the community has faced challenges over the years, including poverty and marginalization, it has a strong spirit of resilience. As we continue, we'll have a look at the complex history of Regent Park and the impact of gentrification on its residents. Regent Park was created in the aftermath of World War II when there was a severe shortage of affordable housing in Toronto. The city's population was growing rapidly and many people were living in overcrowded and unsanitary conditions. The problem was particularly bad for low-income families and racialized communities who were often discriminated against in the housing market. To address the crisis, the Government of Ontario and the City of Toronto launched a massive public housing project in the 1940s. Regent Park was one of several communities built under this initiative. The goal was to provide families a clean, safe, and affordable housing to families that had been living in substandard conditions. These social and economic conditions that created Regent Park were shaped by both global and local factors. The devastation of World War II had left many cities in Europe and in North America with a shortage of housing. At the same time, racial and economic inequality was a persistent problem in Toronto, as it was in many other cities. Regent Park was designed as a modernist urban village with high-rise buildings surrounded by parks, community facilities, and retail spaces. The planners of Regent Park believe that by creating a well-designed, mixed-income community, they could address not only the housing crisis but the social problems associated with poverty. However, over time, Regent Park has become a site of concentrated poverty as the city's economy shifted and good jobs became harder to find. By the 1980s, Regent Park had become a symbol of urban decay and neglect, with high crime rates and cumbersome infrastructure. The community became stigmatized as a place of last resort, and many residents struggled to find work or access to basic services. Today, Regent Park is undergoing another transformation as the city embraced a new vision for urban redevelopment. However, this process has also raised the concerns about the impact of gentrification on the community's long-term residents. As we'll explore in the rest of this video, the story of Regent Park is a complex and evolving one, shaped by social and economic factors that have affected many communities around the world. Regent Park is a culturally diverse community located in the heart of downtown Toronto. According to the latest census data, the population of Regent Park is approximately 14,000 people, with a mix of income levels, ages, and cultural backgrounds. The community has historically been home to a large Black and Caribbean population, with immigrants from Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and other parts of the Caribbean making up a significant portion of the population. There are also many residents of South Asian, East Asian descent, as well as Indigenous peoples and other racialized communities. Regent Park has been recognized as one of the most ethnically diverse neighborhoods in Toronto, with residents speaking over 70 different languages. This diversity is reflected in the many cultural events and festivals that take place in the community throughout the year. However, the demographics of Regent Park have shifted over time as a result of gentrification and redevelopment. As new high-rise condo developments have been built in the area, many long-term residents have been displaced or priced out of the neighborhood. This has led to concerns about the loss of the community's cultural heritage and displacement of marginalized people. Overall, the demographics of Regent Park are complex and evolving, shaped by a range of factors including immigration, economic inequality, and urban development. As we'll explore in the rest of this video, understanding these demographics is crucial for understanding the impact of gentrification on the community's residents. Gentrification is a complex process that has been unfolding in Regent Park for over a decade. This process has brought about significant changes to the neighborhood, including the construction of new high-rise condos, the redesign of parks and community facilities, and the displacement of many long-term residents. One of the key drivers in the gentrification of Regent Park has been the City of Toronto's effort to revitalize the area. In the early 2000s, the city launched the Regent Park Revitalization Project, a multi-billion-dollar initiative aimed at transforming the neighborhood into a mixed-income, mixed-use community. This involved the demolition of the original Regent Park public housing units and the construction of new, higher-density buildings, as well as the creation of new parks, community centers, and other amenities. While these changes have brought investment and development to the area, they have also had a significant social and economic impact on the community. But new high-rise condominiums that have been built in Regent Park are largely unaffordable for long-term residents, leading to displacement and loss of community ties. In addition, the redesign of the parks and community facilities have led to a concern about the loss of community history and cultural heritage. You can argue that the process has not been equitable, with new development primarily benefiting wealthier residents, while low-income and marginalized residents have been displaced or, simply put, left behind. The displacement of long-term residents has had an impact on the neighborhood's social and cultural fabric. Regent Park has long been a multicultural community with a rich history and unique character. However, as new residents move in, they often have different backgrounds and cultural traditions, which can lead to a loss of community identity and cultural heritage. This can be especially difficult for those who have lived in a neighborhood for generations and feel a strong attachment to its history and culture. In addition to the new condos, the neighborhood parks and community facilities have also undergone major redesigns. The new parks are more functional and attractive, with modern playground equipment, sports facilities, and green spaces. However, these changes have also led to concerns about the loss of community history and cultural heritage. For example, the new park in Regent Park known as the Big Park, was built on the site of the original Regent Park baseball field, which was a key gathering place for the community. Community facilities such as the Regent Park Community Center have also been redesigned to better serve the needs of a more diverse and affluent community. The new community center features a gym, swimming pool, and other amenities, which have also attracted new residents to the neighborhood. However, the changes have also raised concerns about the loss of community character and the displacement of long-term residents who feel they've been left behind by the new developments. Overall, the changes to the neighborhood brought about by gentrification has been both positive and negative. The new high-rise condos, parks, and community facilities have brought investment and development to the area, which has the potential to create jobs and boost the local economy. However, these changes have also led to concerns about displacement and loss of community history and cultural heritage. As the gentrification process continues in Regent Park, it's important for city planners, developers, and community leaders to consider the impact of their decisions on all members of the community. This means finding ways to ensure that the benefits of the new development are shared more equitably and that long-term residents are not left behind or forced out of their community.